Hi everybody, it's Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to crochet that throw that you saw there in the picture. I don't have a lot of room here to show you, but we'll talk about it just real quick before we start. So this is made with a diagonal cable stitch. It's very, very easy. So don't think that you can't do it, because you can. It will require you to know how to do double crochet, front post double crochet, and back post double crochet. If you can do those, and single crochet. If you can do those, you got this. So as you can see, the cable runs diagonal. It's really, really interesting. And what I like most about this stitch is it's reversible. So it's the same on both sides, other than the diagonal goes in the, opposite direction. But it looks the same on both sides. So no matter which way you put your throw on your chair, you got the right side facing you, because both sides are the same. So it looks like the same stitch, all the way up. It's very, very beautiful. Now this one does have fringe on it. So for the border, it's just a couple rows of single crochet to make it simple. And then there's about 4 inches of fringe on the top and the bottom. Now that's optional. You don't have to do that. But that is something that you can do. I think fringe looks nice on cable blankets. And, sometimes I do like to put them on cable blankets, but that's definitely optional. So it's so pretty, like I said, and it's very easy. Don't be intimidated by it at all. It looked pretty on the chair, didn't it? It's gonna look pretty in your house too. It's beautiful. Here's the fringe up here at the top. All right, now let's go ahead. I'm gonna set this to the side, and we'll talk about the size of it and the yarn that was used, and all that jazz. All right, so that particular blanket right there, with the fringe, if you count the 4 inches of fringe on the top and the bottom, it's 50 by 72. Now without the fringe, it's 50 by 64. So that's an average size throw. Now if you look in the description box and the comment section, I'll put it both places. I'll give you a chain amount and the yardage to make it baby blanket size if you'd like. And I'll also give you the stitch multiple in case you want to use this for something else, or make maybe like a king size or something like that. So look in the description box if you're interested in making a baby blanket size, and it'll have all the details for that as well. So for the yarn that I used was Red Heart Super Saver, which is a 100% acrylic medium weight number 4. Now you don't have to use this yarn. Any medium weight 4 yarn will be just fine. Now this isn't the color that I used. The color that I used was called Soft White, as you can see. Soft white. Any color though is going to look amazing. So for the particular size that I'm making, with the fringe, the 50 by 72, that's counting the fringe, you're going to need about 8.5 balls of this. All right, now, and that it is a bit of a yarn eater, but my gosh, is it ever beautiful. So there's 364 yards, or 333 meters per ball. So in total, you're going to need approximately 3,100 yards to complete this blanket, the size that I'm making it, with the fringe, or about 2,840 meters to complete it with the fringe. All right, and remember to look in the description box if you're interested in baby blanket size, or in the comment section. The very first comment, it'll be from me, and I'll tell you all the details on that. So that's the yardage that you'll need. Remember, any 4-weight yarn will work. It doesn't have to be Red Heart Super Saver, but I think it made a beautiful blanket. And then we're going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. All right, you ready to get started? Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to show you on a smaller scale here. So this diagonal cable stitch is done in a multiple of 6 plus 4, in case you want to make something else with this stitch, or you want to make a bigger blanket or a smaller blanket. What that means is your beginning chain needs to be evenly divisible by 6, and once you get it to the length that you want it to be, you add 4 more to your base chain. So 6 plus 4. Now following along with me to make it the size that is you see on in the thumbnail picture, you want to do a chain of 160 chains. 160. Once you get your chain of 160, we'll go ahead and begin row 1. So we're going to do a double crochet in the 4th stitch from our hook. So we never count this one that's on our hook. It doesn't count. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and in that 4th stitch, we're going to put a double crochet. And then we're going to work, and we're going to put a double crochet into every single stitch of the chain. So row 1 is just 1 double crochet in every stitch until we make it to the end of the row. All right, so once you make it to the end of row 1, following along with me, you will have a total of 158 stitches, and that is counting this chain here on the end. It counts as a stitch. So counting that, 158. And 158 is what you will have at the end of every row from here on out. Now we're going to start row 2. So row 2 starts the repeat rows. It's a 6-row repeat, but don't let that intimidate you because they're very easy repeat rows. So it's row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are the repeat rows. All right, and look for timestamps for those in the video. That way you can go back to each row, so you don't have to keep rewinding and stuff to get back to it. Remember, you can do this. All right, it's not hard at all, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful blanket. All right, we're going to start row 2. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. It doesn't count as a stitch here or for the rest of the pattern. It never counts as a stitch, all right, for this particular pattern. So we're going to pretend like it's not even there. And we're going to go ahead and put a double crochet right here into this very first stitch. Just like that. Now we're going to start the repeat for row 2. So we're going to put a front post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So this one, and this one. All right. Front post double. So we're going to yarn over and we go around the post of the stitch like that. And then we just do a double crochet like normal. So it's just a regular double crochet, but instead of working it into the top of the stitch, we're working around the post. There's 2, and then we go to the next one and another front post double crochet. Just like that. Now we're going to work 3 back post double crochets over the next 3 stitches. So the back post, we yarn over and we go and we take our hook and we go around the post from the back. That way the post is on the back side of our hook. See that? And then we just go ahead and do our double crochet like normal. I always say the back post is a little bit trickier than the front post, but once you get it down, it's easy. So again, back post double crochet around the next. And one more time, a back post double crochet around the next. And that would be the repeat for row 2. So we'd start again and we put a front post double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So there's 1 front post, and then the next one, that would be 2 front posts, and the next one, and that would be 3 front posts. And now we do 3 back post double crochet, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. There's 1 back post, the next one, 2 back post, and the next one, 3 back post. And that's what we're going to repeat now for row 2. 3 front post double crochet and then 3 back post, 3 front post and 3 back post. And we're going to repeat that pattern until we have 1 stitch that remains. So I'll meet you at the end when we have 1 stitch left. Alright, so I'm coming to the end of row 2. I just did 3 back post double crochets and I have 1 stitch left here on the end. It's actually that little chain there. So we're going to go ahead and do a double crochet into the top of the last stitch. Just a regular double crochet. And that'll end row 2. And if it starts to be all twisty and looking funny, that's okay. It'll start to lay straight the more rows that you do. And you'll start to be able to see the diagonal formation the more rows you do as well. So let's go ahead and start row 3. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we're going to do a double crochet into the very first stitch. Like that. And then we're going to put a front post double crochet into the next 2 stitches right here. Front post double. Just like that. And now we're going to start the repeat of the row. Now our post stitches are not going to stay lined up because they're going to be start cocking at an angle. So they're not always going to line up. All right. So if you notice them not lining up, that's perfectly fine. That's normal. That's what gives it the diagonal effect. So let's go and start the repeat of row 3. We're going to do 1 back post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So if you look, you can see here's a front post, and here the next 2 are actually back posts. But we got to put back post double crochets in each of those. So there's 1, and back here, 2, and the other one back here, and there's 3. And now we're going to do 3 front post double crochets into the next 3. So you can see the next one's a back post and then 2 front posts. So front post double crochet around the next stitch, which you can see is a back post from the previous row, and then front post double crochet around the next 2. And that will end the repeat for row 3. So again, we'll do back post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. You can see them right there. 1, 2, 3. So we back post double into the next 3. There's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do front post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, front post double. There's 1, 2, and 3. And that is going to be the repeat for row 3. 3 back post double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 front post double crochets, 1, 2, 3. 3 back posts and 3 front posts, and we're going to repeat that pattern until we get to the last 2 stitches of our row. Alright, so I'm coming to the end of row 3. I just did 3 back post double crochets and I have 2 stitches that remain. I'm going to put 1 front post double crochet into the next stitch. It's front post. And then I'm going to end by putting just a regular double crochet into the top of the last stitch, and that will end row 3. Now remember, it will take some time before you start to see the diagonal form. It takes a little bit. So let's go ahead and start row 4. Row 4, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to put a double crochet back right here into the very first stitch. And then we're going to put a back post double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So if you look, it's going to be this right here, this back post from the previous row, and this front post from the previous row. We're going to do back post around both of those. Just like that. And now we're going to start the repeat of row 4. And we're going to do a front post double crochet around the next 3 stitches. So you can see this one, and this one is a back post, but we got to do a front post around it. So let's go ahead and start. Front post double crochet around the next 3. 1. And then the next one is 2. And the next one back here will make 3. And now we're going to do 3 back post double crochets. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. But we're going to remember we're doing back post. So around the post. So there's 1. 2, and 1 more is 3, and that ends the repeat for row 4. I know it might seem confusing, but trust me, once you do a couple repeats, you'll have it down. You'll have it down. So let's go ahead and do it again. Repeat it again for row 4. Front post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. And then a back post double crochet into the next 3. Just like that. And this is a pattern we're going to repeat for row 4. Front post double crochet into the next 3, and then a back post double crochet into the next 3. Front post double crochet in the next 3, and back post double crochet into the next 3. And we're going to repeat this pattern until we get to the last 2 stitches of our row. Alright, I'm coming to the end of row 4. I just did 3 front post double crochets and I have 2 stitches that remain. I want to put a back post double crochet into the second to the last stitch. And then I will put just a regular double crochet into the top of the last stitch. And that'll end row 4. So we'll go ahead and we'll start row 5. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to put a double crochet into the very first stitch. And now we're going to start the repeat of row 5 right away. We're going to put a back post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So back post. Remember, your post stitches will not line up because we're going at a diagonal formation here. So 3 back post double crochets, just like this. And then 3 front post double crochets into the next. So there's 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and do your 3 front post. There's 1, 2, and 3. And that is the repeat for row 5. 3 back post double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 front post double crochets into the next. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to repeat this pattern of 3 back post doubles, 3 front post doubles, 3 back posts, 3 front, until we get to the last stitch of our row. All right, I've made it to the end of row 5. I just did 3 front post double crochets and I have 1 stitch that remains. Go ahead and put a regular double crochet into the top of that last stitch, and that will end row 5. As you can kind of see a little bit of the diagonal formation taking place, but like I said, it'll probably take many rows before you see it clearly. Let's go ahead and start round 6. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to put a double crochet right back into that very first stitch. And then we are going to put 1 front post double crochet into the next stitch. And now we're going to start the repeat of row 6. We are going to put a back post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Back post. So there's 1, 2, and there's 3. And then we're going to do 3 front post double crochets into the next 3. As you can see, 1, 2, and 3 right there. So 3 front post doubles. There's 1, 2, and 3. And that's the repeat for row 6. Back post double crochet into the next 3. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And a front post double into the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to repeat this pattern of 3 back post double crochets, 3 front posts, 3 back posts, 3 front posts, until we make it to the last 3 stitches of our row. All right, I'm coming to the end of row 6. I did 3 back post double crochets and I have 3 stitches that remain. So I'm going to do a front post double crochet in the next 2. And then I'm just going to put a regular double crochet into the top of the last stitch. And that'll end row 6. And then we're going to start row 7, which is the final repeat row of the pattern. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to put a double crochet into the very first stitch. And then we will put a back post double crochet into the next stitch. 1 back post double into the next. That. And now we're going to start the repeat of row 7, which is a front post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Front post double into the next 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and then a back post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we would repeat that again. Front post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then again back post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to repeat that pattern. 3 front posts, 3 back posts, 3 front posts, 3 back posts, until we get to the last 3 stitches of our row. Alright, I've come to the end of row 7, and I just did 3 front post double crochet, and I have 3 stitches here that remain. You can see 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a back post double into the next 2. There's 1, and there is 2. And then I'm just going to end by doing a regular double crochet into the top of the last stitch. And that will end the repeat rows. You can kind of start to see that it's taking its diagonal formation. So now what we would do is we would just keep repeating rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the next row, row 8, would just be a repeat of row 2. Then we repeat row 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we would keep repeating those rows. You can see they look the same on both sides, until we get it as big as we want it to be. So if you're following along with me, I did it till it was done till approximately 64 inches or 140 rows. That could be different for you, but after you get it that size, then what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and put a couple rows of single crochets around it just to clean it up a little bit. Now if you want to do a different border, that's fine, but once you get it as big as you want it to be, what we'll do is chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to evenly space out single crochets all around the entire piece. Just do your best to kind of evenly space out the single crochets. This will give it a nice clean look at the end. And it's hard to see where your stitches need to go on the side. That's fine. That's why we just do our best to kind of evenly space them out to the best of our ability. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then when we get to the corner, we're going to put 3 single crochets in this corner stitch. That will round the corner. So there's 1, 3 in the same stitch, 2, 3, and then we will continue across the bottom, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get to the next corner. When you get to the next corner, you put 3 single crochets in it. So what we're doing is we're just evenly spacing out single crochets all the way around and putting 3 singles in each of the corners. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet back up with you when we get back up here to our starting point. Alright, when you make it back to up here to your starting point, the very last stitch here at the top, we're going to go ahead and put 3 single crochets into that last corner stitch, like that. And now we're going to go around one more time with another row of single crochet. If you want to use a stitch marker here, that's fine to mark your spot. I'm just going to go ahead and continue around, putting 1 single crochet into every stitch. You should be able to see pretty well now your single crochets after that first row. Now when we make it to the corner this time, remember we put 3 single crochets into the corner last time. What we're going to do is we're going to find the middle stitch of that 3. Right here it is. So I'm going to work up to it. When you get to the middle stitch of the 3 single crochet from the previous row, we're going to put 3 single crochets into that. Just to round the corner a little bit better. And then we continue putting 1 single crochet into every stitch until we make it to the next corner, where we put 3 single crochet from the previous row, that middle stitch. So I'll work all the way down here, single crocheting, and when we get to the next corner, the middle stitch of the 3, we'll put 3 single crochets in it, and then continue 1 single crochet in every stitch to the next corner where we put 3 single crochets. The middle stitch, we'll put 3 single crochets into it, and I'll meet back up with you at our starting point. Alright, so I made it back to my starting point. I put 3 single crochets in the middle stitch there of my group of 3 from the previous row, and then 1 single crochet to fit at the last stitch was the 1 single crochet. And I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first single crochet here on the side, and then I'm going to tie that off, and I can hide that tail. Now you can be done if you want. Now if you want to add fringe, you can do that. It's such a pretty stitch, especially when you get, you know, like the big blanket done in it. It's so pretty. I'll show you how to add some fringe if you want to. So the blanket you see has about 4-inch fringe. So what you want to do is take your yarn and you want to just do approximately 8-inch strands of yarn. All right, I'm just gonna do approximately, probably be longer, but you know, just to give you an idea of how to do it. Now you can make your fringe longer or shorter, or leave it off completely. So once you get approximately 8-inch strand of yarn here, I think these are way bigger, but you want to take 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to take it and come here to the end and I always put my crochet hook through like that, and kind of fold your strand in half like that, and pull them through your stitch like that. So you have a opening there. See that? You want to keep that open. Now you got your strands here. Try to get them kind of even at the end, and later you can straighten them up if you want. Now you just take all of them and pull them through that loop and pull it tight like that, and there you go. That is how you do the fringe. Now you can space them apart as far as you want, you know, 3 or 4 stitches apart or even further, but I'll show you again. I'm going to take 4 strands. You can do more than 4 strands if you want, depending on how thick you want your fringe. I'm going to skip, you could skip 3 or 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3. I think I'll go into the 4th one here. So I put my hook in, and I grab all 4 of these strands of yarn and pull them through like that. And then I grab my opening, and then I try to make them a little bit even at the bottom, and then just take them all and pull them through that hole. There you go. And now you have another piece of fringe, and you can do that all the way down. I'm gonna grab another 4 and skip. I'm gonna skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one. Pull all 4 strands through till you have this hole here that you can grab with your hands, and then even up these strands and then just pull them all the way through. There we go. You just want to do that all the way down, and then all the way down this side if you're following along with me, and then you can trim them up to however short, you know, or leave them longer as you'd like. That's it. That's how you do it. Super easy. And like I said, it'll take a bit before the diagonal effect will take place, you know, but after it does, it is quite very, very beautiful, beautiful cable. I mean, I've always liked the diagonal cable. I think it's gorgeous. I like it in this off-white yarn or soft white yarn. It's very pretty. It goes with anything. this color does. So I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out all my other tutorials. I have, you know, well over 1,000 at the making of this video, and I continue to put them on. I also like to put on yarn content as well. So if you make this, please don't forget to show me a picture on my Facebook page. There's a link to that below. I'd really love to see it. Don't forget to hit that like button. Leave me a comment below. Show for some support. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, I'll see you on my next video. Also, don't forget to look in the comment section, the very first comment, or in the description box, and I'll have the measurements for you to use this stitch to make a beautiful, beautiful baby blanket. How pretty would that be? It would be magnificent. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.